Sahanau Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. We have seen this delicate business of karma yoga. What is this karma? And how it is actually much more complex than first thought. This whole concept of karma yoga, doing something as yajna, with the spirit of yajna. And here there are certain pitfalls, and Bhagavan is going to point them out. First, we have seen how the people of knowledge, how do they perform karma, even though they don't have to. There is nothing they have to gain. We have to understand the reason why people perform karma. Why do people perform karma? Karma phala. Yes, for phala, no other reason. Otherwise, nobody will do anything. Only for the sake of what can I get out of it, people do things. Karma phala. Bhog, and what is the karma phala for? Bhoga. Bhogaya karma, no other reason. To experience something comfortable and wonderful and to ward off the uncomfortable, karma is done. Universally. It is not that this is the Indian reason for karma and Americans will have another reason and Europeans will have another reason. Same thing. This is all universal human nature, swabhava. And so, there is a way to do karma without really being focused on the results. We have seen that is called karma yoga, where the focus is on karma phala, but what kind of phala do we want? Growth. Inner growth is what we want. That's why we change from karma phala to what? We change from the focus of karma phala to inner growth. That is what we have seen. And how this inner growth is a way of giving back. All the time if you keep take, where is the end? There must be some way to give back. There must be some way to participate in everything. Cutting this whole sense of alienation from oneself, from the universe, and from everybody in it. And so we have seen that jnanis perform karma without really focusing on the results. Why do they perform karma? Because there is no reason not to. And if their prarabdha allows it, they will help everybody else. It is to help others. Not that, you see, there are two ways of helping. Sometimes you help because you cannot stand other people suffering. This is how a number of social movements are born. You cannot handle, because one is sensitive, one cannot handle other people's suffering. Naturally, there is an empath in all of us. And then, so, to ward off that inner pain, people start something, people start doing things. But not the jnani. There is no inner pain, there is no pressure. It's just a free help, free from the pressure that I want something from it, even if it is to feel better or feel less guilty. So guilt, pain, sorrow are not the motivators for karma where the jnani is concerned. And what is the motivation? The motivation is just to do what is to be done, and if some people get helped, well and good, very nice. We are not going to worry about that. So the point is not to help people out of a sense of pressure. This much we have seen. Then in the next verse, 25th verse, there are two ways of doing karma, Bhagavan is going to say. One way is through, and it's a topic that is going to continue for some time, probably till verse 29. It will continue this particular topic about the ways how to do this karma and how we see actions being done in the world. Actions in the world are done in two ways. And what are the ways? Let us see. सक्ताः कर्मण्य विद्वांसः यथा कुर्वन्ति भारत कुर्याद् विद्वांस्तथा सक्तः चिकीर्षुर्लोकसङ्ग्रहम्. Two ways of doing karma. First line, first way. Second line, second way. First is avidvamsah. Vidvan, vidvamsau, vidvamsah. Avidvan, avidvamsau, avidvamsah. Avidvamsah means what? What is vidvan? Let us go to the basics. Vidvan means what? A scholar, one who knows, is called Vidvan. Here, one who knows Atma, Atmavit, is called Vidvan. And how to negate that? So you add it at the end, right? Vidvana. No. Where do you add it? Beginning. So Vidvan, how do you negate it? Avidvan. Vidvamsah, plural of Vidvan. Avidvamsah, not Vidvan, not just one but many of them. Many non-Vidvams. Avidvamsah yatha, in which way the non-Vidvans do karma. How do they do karma? Saktaha karmani. Saktaha means like velcro, stuck to the karma. So karmani, even though it says stuck in karma, they are actually stuck to karma phala. Karma phale asakti. So that sticking like velcro, they are stuck to what will come out of this, what will I get out of this, oh it is not coming, something else I have to do, I have to change what I am doing, now I have to do this, now I have to do that. All stressed and they are a ball of tension. They are a bunch of nerves, a ball of tension, totally stressed. So, this is how the non-Vidvan, Avidvan called here, does karma. Saktaha karmani. Karmani means karma phale. In the karma phala, saktaha. Yatha kurvanti bharata. How they do? Oh Bharata. Bharata means two meanings. The one, up till now we have been seeing one meaning. What is that? The one who is the scion of the Bharata clan. Bharata. This is a direct tadhita meaning. Tadhita means like how you make a noun from another noun. So Bharatasya apatyam Bharata. So the son of Bharata or son of some grandson, whatever it is. One meaning. Another wonderful meaning Adi Shankara gives. Bha is Brahma Vidya. Why is Bha Brahma Vidya? Bha means shines, that which shines. Why does Brahma Vidya shine? It's the most attractive of all the knowledges, that's why it shines. It makes people come from all over the world to take 6 months course, that's why it shines. And then it shines as the self-shining self. That's the third reason it shines. It shines as I, which does not need to be put, which does not need a mirror to show itself. It is the shining I. Shines. Bha Brahma Vidya Tasyam Ramante. You take the Ra and the Ta from Ramante. Bharata. So Bharata means the one who delights in Brahma Vidya. What a nice name he has given. That means Arjuna must have been listening very closely, asking the correct questions, and he got this wonderful epithet, Bharata. So, oh the one who delights in Brahma Vidya, see these two ways of doing karma. The wise also do karma, we saw earlier. Now, the one who is not wise, what shall we call them? Otherwise. The otherwise, other than the wise, otherwise. The otherwise also do karma. How do they do it? By clinging to the fruits of action. Always in their mind is the sentence, इससे मुझे क्या मिलेगा? What will I get out of this? What will I get out of this? Where is my reward? I want this, because the list of wants is so much. What will I get out of this? What will I get? When will I get this? What will I get? This is the obsession of the otherwise. But they are also doing karma. How are they doing karma? With motives in mind. Motives that have nothing to do with motives that have nothing to do with self-growth. They are motives of another kind. They are not motives connected to mukti. Mukti means freedom, moksha. But they are motives connected to bhukti, enjoyment. Right here, right now, I want something and I want it immediately at all costs. Even at the cost of destroying somebody else, I want it right away. This is their mantra. This is how the wise do it. Little bit of a confusing verse. Yatha kurvanti. How the otherwise do it, how the unwise people in the world do it. It says tatha. Tatha doesn't mean in the same manner. The similarity is both the wise and the unwise are doing karma. That's the only tatha there. There is no other similarity. Actually, it is opposite. Both of them are opposite. So the wise, why do they do karma? They are chikir shuhu. Chikir shuhu means they desire to do what? Loka sangraham. They desire to help the people out of no other reason but because they can. That's the only reason they desire to help people. In the Viveka Chudamani, there is a wonderful verse. They are talking about the sadhus who are in the world, the saints who are in the world teaching, walking, talking, helping people. They are likened to the season of spring. Vasantavat lokahitam charantah. Vasantavat, like spring. When the spring comes, especially if you look in areas where it snows, 6 months, 4 months, terrible snow, everything is white, 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 not a single tree has leaves. And the sun comes out whenever it feels like once in a month. And so in this kind of a gloominess people have been living. And then suddenly there is the first flower, crocus. There is one small flower that bursts through the icy ground. Then suddenly it is pink, it is purple. How happy one feels when looking at that. It may still be mid-March and there is still time for the frost to thaw. There is time for all that to go, but still one feels so happy. What to talk of when the cherry trees are in blossom, the pear trees are in blossom, everything is in blossom. It's a riot of colors. Does the spring have any ulterior motives? No. Do you have to pay fees to look at the blossoms? No. Maybe if it's in a park, the government will charge you fees to enter the park. That's a different thing. But the trees are not charging. Nature is not charging. So just like that, these sadhus are the wise ones. Vasantavat lokahitam charantah. Like the spring, they just bring a smile to everybody's face because of what they do. And Tirnaha Swayam Bhima Bhavarnavam So Tirnaha Swayam, they have themselves crossed over the frightening ocean of samsara. Ahetuna, without any ulterior motive, without wanting to get anything back in return, anyanapi tarayantaha, they help other people cross by teaching. That's what it is. This is just strictly for teachers and saintly people who are helping the people with their counseling, with their advice. They don't stand to gain anything. Not even the feeling, oh, I'm famous, even that is not there. So, like the spring doesn't feel, yeah, I am famous, I should take some pictures of myself and put it on Facebook. It doesn't do all that. It simply quietly goes. And in the Totaka also, sage Totaka, the disciple of Adi Shankaracharya, he also says, Mahamahasaha Chalataha. Chalataha means as though in disguise these people roam the earth. All the saints roam the earth in disguise because they don't want accolades. They run away from recognition. They run away from recognition, they don't want accolades, it is in a way oppressive to them because that's not what they are looking for. So they roam the world disguised as, oh, I don't know anything. What Atma Jnanam? Some may say, some may pretend that they don't know anything. Some may pretend to be very ordinary, but they are actually truly extraordinary. And so this is how the Vidwan does the work in the world. So Arjuna, you also don't be like the Avidwan, don't be like that one who is not a knower of the self. Be like the knowers of the self and do the work because it can be done by you. It is there, it is needing to be done, somebody's got to do it and you are in the right place at the right time. So don't be like this Avidwan. Then the next set of verses will talk about the newly minted Vedantin and how should he or she go about in the world. So in the beginning, one is studying Akarta, yay, that's me. Akarta means what? Non-doer, very good. Akarta means non-doer, yay, that's me. Then you go around the ashram, you see somebody doing something. Workers in the dining hall cooking, and you say to them, what? You are all Akarta. Why are you doing this? Don't cook. Don't do anything. This is hazardous, both to you because where is dinner going to come from? Okay? So there is no hope for dinner because they will all say, oh great, I don't have to do anything, I am a karta. And it's hazardous to them because if they don't work, what will happen to them? Lose the job, they will be thrown out. And so this is injurious. So we don't brandish our knowledge and cause confusion in people who are interested in doing karma and who do not have the knowledge of akartritvam, that I am not a karta, they do not know, and perhaps they are not yet ready to know. Just like you were not yet ready to know this much earlier than this. Now you know Arjuna, but earlier you did not know. So if you were to go to the battlefield and take the megaphone and tell the people, hear everyone, you are not the soldier, you are a Satchidananda Atma. Throw your bayonets, throw your bows and arrows, get off of the horse and the chariots, go home. What will happen? They will become what is called Ubhaya Bhrashta. Neither here nor there. At least they are doing something. Teach them to do according to dharma. That's the best thing you can do. Teach them what to do. Teach them how to do it according to dharma. This is right, this is wrong, whatever. People come. People say, oh, I want to build a temple. I wish to build a temple in this area because there is no temple. And what does the Vedantin say? No need to build a temple. Bhagavan is sitting inside your heart. Why you want to build a temple? And then the person is thoroughly confused. So, to stop that, here are some verses of the consequences of giving this knowledge to the people who are not ready. Teach them karma yoga, teach them dharma, not anything beyond that. Na buddhi bhedan janayet, ajnanam karma sanginam, जोषयेत् सर्वकर्माणि विद्वान् युक्तः समाचरन् न विद्वान् न बुद्धिभेदं जनयेत्. May the knower of the Atma not cause confusion in the masses. And who are the masses? They are described by two words, ajnana. Ajnaha they are. Ajnaha means na janati iti ajnaha. Janati iti jnaha. Na janati iti ajnaha. So the ones who don't know, ajnaha, ajnana, and then karma sangina, karmaholics, karma phalaholics, addicted to karma. Addicted to karma phala they are, no matter what they do, they are not able to understand akartritvam right now. And the word right now is important. It's not that we are writing them off and saying they'll never understand Vedanta, but where they are at right now, doing is important. Only when you have come to the understanding that doing is enough, then only you can go to the next level. Many times what happens, people have low self-esteem, low self-confidence, and to such a person you say stop doing everything, they will sink deeper into further feelings that I am no good, I am no good, I am unworthy. So sometimes what even as children, that's why Vedanta, your knowledge you don't give to children. You encourage them in sports. They should learn how to compete. Youngsters, you encourage them to do well in school. Join this competition, do this. Only after a sense of self has been gained, that those notions can be given up only after they have been owned up. First you own it up. Just like everything in Vedanta, this too is a paradox. First you own it up. This is me. Yes, I got the first prize. This is wonderful. I did this, I did that. I have a sense of accomplishment. Now you are accomplished enough to say, this doesn't matter anymore. Then why go after what that doesn't matter? Because that's how the mind is. The human mind is mad. First it wants to accumulate and then it wants to give up. That's how it is. And so therefore, teach them to go on the path of dharma. Na buddhi bhedam janaye. Buddhi bheda means don't cause confusion in the buddhi. For whom? Karma sanginam, people who are addicted to karma, and who else? Ajnanam, who don't know Atma. Instead, what should the Vidwan do? Joshayet sarva karmani. Whatever they want to do, Joshayet means enthuse them, encourage them, inspire them. So somebody says, I'm building a temple, yippee, wonderful, great. When is the inauguration? I will come. You encourage them like that. And that is how then the person feels good about themselves, because that's what the person needs to do right now. So if somebody comes and says, I want to rob a bank, then you tell them what? No, build a temple instead. You will get punya. So if you tell the would-be bank robber, no, study Atma, you are a karta, the person will be encouraged to steal from the bank because I am not doing anything. I am a karta. So for that person you have to bring them back again on the path of karma. What kind of karma? Dharmic karma, and bring them back and say, hey, come on, go on this path. Don't rob the people. What have they done to you? Instead, why don't you build a bus stop? Why don't you plant a few trees? Why don't you do this? That is how you gently encourage people first to be dharmic, because the first, the first rule of karma yoga is what? Dharma. Dharma is a manifestation we saw of Ishvara. So, Joshayet sarva karmani, vidwan, who is yuktaha. Yuktaha means together. Yuktaha samacharan. Samacharan, doing good things. The vidwan, encouraging good things, must encourage the people, not try to tell the people, stop doing things. Then these two are next two verses are very interesting. Let us read. Prakrite kriyamānāni gunaih karmāni sarvashah ahankara vimūಢātmā kartāhamiti manyate Tattvavittu mahabāho gunakarma vibhāgayoho guna guneshu vartante iti matva na sajjate. Here again two scenarios are pointed out in verse number 27. Who is doing these actions? You can say, I am doing these actions. So there is when you say that, there is the enlightened, so to speak, I, and then there is the ignorant I. So the ignorant one thinks oneself to be the karta and says, I am the one doing the action. It's me. Meaning, the actions are emanating from wherever the I notion is located. So the I notion is connected helplessly and hopelessly with the action, giving birth to a being called karta. Lo and behold, happy birthday Karta. Karta is born. And how is the Karta born? By the I notion sticking to the actor, to the agent of action. Okay? To the action and the agent of action, both of them. That is how the Karta is born. So here, what is pointed out is that let us just analyze deeply what is it that is doing the karma. Because in sleep there are reflex motions, correct? Suddenly you kick the person next to you and then you kick off the covers. Some people move around so much they fall off the bed also. Alright? And in fact, even in people that are brain dead, certain reflexes are observed. Suddenly the hand will move, suddenly the leg will move, they are being waiting, let's say they are still kept on ventilator because they are organ donors, the organs have to be harvested, and then what, the relatives have given consent for the organs to be given, and then the team has to come and do the surgery and take it, and so the brain dead person is kept on oxygen so that the organs are viable. And then suddenly you will see, the relatives see, the hand is going like this. They say, oh my God, he is alive, she is alive. Not alive at all. This is just a reflex action. So action comes from some complex sources, least of all which is you. This is what it is. Prakritaihi So the gunas. So here gunas means what? What are gunas? That is exactly where Lord Krishna doesn't want you to go in this context. Because guna means many, many, many things. In grammar we saw guna. What is guna? Yeah. Not sandhi. What is guna? The first level of strengthening of the vowels. Okay. That is called guna. Alright. And so, that is one guna, and the other guna you just now mentioned, another meaning, sattva, rajas, tamas, which is what we have been seeing. Okay? Then, another meaning of the word guna, which is relevant here, that's why it's all technical, that's why we rely heavily on Adi Shankara Bhashya. So, here guna means the body, mind, sense complex and the actions that ensue from the body, mind, sense complex. Karya, Karana, Sanghata. Karya is the effect. Karana, the means. Sanghata, that which is put together. Body, mind, sense complex. So the actions are coming from Prakriti. Prakriti means nature. Actions are coming from Prakriti, nature. And who are you? Purusha. Purusha doesn't mean man. Prakriti doesn't mean woman. Okay? This is the energy. Purusha grammatically means Sarvan Puryati iti Purusha. That which fills up everything. You are Ishvara, you are that which is Bhagavan, you are Satchidananda Atma which is Akarta. That is where the Ahankara has to go join. But what does the Ahankara do? It has mistakenly, because it doesn't know the truth of itself, has erroneously joined what? Prakriti. Instead of Purusha, it has joined Prakriti. And what is Prakriti? Movement. Prakriti is like the fan. Keeps moving, keeps going here, doesn't stop. It's the manifest universe. Everything is moving. Your body is also in motion, your mind is in motion. Body is Prakriti, mind is Prakriti, senses are Prakriti, thoughts are Prakriti, Buddhi is Prakriti. Everything is Prakriti. Except for the one who says everything is Prakriti. Except for that one, which is the Sakshi, the observer, the content of the Sakshi, the truth of the Sakshi is Satchidananda Atma, Brahmatma. Everything else is Prakriti. And so now, who is the actor? Prakriti Guna. Guna here means modification of Prakriti. Guna means Prakriti Vikara. Vikara means modification. So the modification of Prakriti is what we are talking about. And so the modification of Prakriti is the cause of action, and this the person of knowledge knows. Just like you have your lunch, you sit down, and then your aware digestion is taking place. Are you doing it? No. You are not going and putting a hand in and digesting the food. Thank God. Right? Because we would not know the first thing how to do that. And you are not sending this to the blood and these nutrients to the muscles. You are not neither digesting the food nor sending the nutrients to those respective areas. You are a karta. See, you can observe how Prakriti is in motion. You are a karta, and Prakriti comes. Prakriti, what the rules established by the Prakriti, which is Ishvari, really. It is Ishvari, Bhagavan. And so that, according to the rules, that order of digestion, the order of respiration, all those things take place on their own. You don't even have to interfere. The food is digested. Before long, you are saying, when is dinner time? You are already anticipating. Why? Because everything is ready for the next set of food to come in. It's all digested and kept aside. You are not responsible. So if you are not responsible for the movements within the body, why do you think yourself to be responsible for movements outside the body, Arjuna? Why are you identifying as a karta? You are not even in charge of the thoughts. Tell me, what is going to be your next thought? Huh? I would like to know your next thought. Nobody can tell. Nobody can tell what the next thought is. Even you don't know. Even if supposing somebody were to say, okay, my next thought is going to be of apple. That's not your next thought. That's just something you manufactured by suppressing whatever was the next thought. And so like this, we are not in charge of anything. So therefore, one can go about very safely and tangibly knowing that one is a akarta, not the doer. And so he gives a very nice, these are some very nice verses. So prakrutehe kriyamanani karmani sarvashah gunaihi. Gunaihi means prakrutehe gunaihi, through a modification of the prakriti. Guna here means modification, i.e. in the form of the body, mind, sense complex, all the karmas are done. But what? Ahankara vimodhatma. So, ahamkarta iti manyate. The one who is deluded about the nature of the I thinks himself to be the karta. So, what is ahankara? Adi Shankara has a definition of ahankara also. Aham pratiti. Karya karana sanghate aham pratitihi is ahankara. Pratiti, cognition. Karya karana sanghata, in the body mind sense complex, aham pratiti, the I cognition that has stuck to or is identified with the body mind sense complex, that cognition is called ahankara. Tena ahankarena vividham mudhaha vimudhaha. So, nana prakarena mudhaha. So, those who are deluded by that I notion which has stuck to the body mind sense complex, from which there is no reprieve, from which there is no inner space, they are convinced I am as good as this body. They are called ahankara vimodhatma. Atma here is not Satchidananda Atma. Atma means the person. The person who is deluded by thinking that the I notion is to be found and rests solely with the body, mind, sense complex. That person is primed to think aham karta iti manyate. As opposed to what? Whereas, to, next verse, tattvavit tu mahabaho. Tattvavit. Tat means what? That. Tattva means what? Thatness. Thatness means the essence of something. Here, the essence of the knowledge of the jiva as Ishvara. Tattvavittu mahabaho gunakarma vibhagayoho. So, the Tattvavit knows what the He Mahabaho, O mighty armed one, the Tattvavit, the knower of the Atma, knows. What do they know? They know the difference between guna and karma. They know that, they know what is guna. What is guna now? The body, mind, sense complex, a mere transformation or a modification of nature. That is guna. What is karma? Action. So, they know the difference between guna and karma. Vibhaga means the difference. And what do they know? Gunaha guneshu vartante. So, the gunas will do whatever they are told to do. By what? Prakriti. Ishvara has set them up in a certain way that they do what they are supposed to do. Iti matva, knowing this, guneshu na sajjate. Karmani na sajjate. They don't get attached to karma, they don't get attached to the outcome of karma, they don't get attached to themselves as agents of action. This is the translation. Very important verse. And what it says is that the difference between avidwan and vidwan is in understanding that the I notion must be extricated from the body mind sense complex and must be walked over to the identity I am Satchidananda Atma. Then only the kartritvam drops. Between the dropping of the kartritvam and the associating of oneself with Satchidananda Atma and the rise of this knowledge, then there is a connection. The more one drops the identification, the more one is connected to the whole, and to this knowledge I am not the doer. Here a small problem can arise. What is that small problem? Somebody can be going, okay? Somebody else is coming in front. Give them one and say, Gunaha Guneshu Vartante. My hand, my right hand, which is what? A modification of Prakriti, hit your cheek, which is another modification of Prakriti. Why are you taking so stressed? Why are you getting stressed? This is just one modification of Prakriti interacting with another modification of Prakriti. Chill, relax. What is your problem? What will you say to that? And they will say, I have studied the 29th verse of the 28th verse of the Bhagavad Gita. This is exactly what it says. What will you say to them? What to say to them is that the I notion is behind the hand. The hand is not having what is in medical science called the Lazarus effect, sudden reflex action. It's not having that. No, but hand is Prakriti. Mind is also Prakriti. Yes, hand is Prakriti, mind is Prakriti, Buddhi is Prakriti. But there was a command, and that command had a raga there, had a dvesha there. What was the raga for? This person has injured me long back. This is the raga is to take revenge, and the dvesha is for that person. And powered by the raga dvesha, the I notion which is ensconced in the raga dvesha, the ahankara tells the hand, come on, just give the fellow one. So this is all sneaky ways in which the ahankara very nicely becomes the karta and pretends to be not a karta. I am not a karta at all. It's like that person who came and told Pujya Swamiji, I have stopped getting angry, I have won over my anger, Swamiji. And what did Swamiji say? I don't believe you. What? How can you not believe me? It's true. It's been 3 months. I have not gotten angry at all. It's all gone. And Swamiji said, you are a liar. And he got very angry just then. So it's like this. And he said that. He said that smilingly, just to show the person you haven't overcome the anger. So here, it's not about living in some kind of a delusion or dissociation. And some people start referring to themselves, it's very dangerous in the third person. And it's very, very terrible. Really. You don't know what to talk to them also. I know some people like that. This one came, that one went. And then they don't take any responsibility for their action. They'll make a mistake and then they will say, Ishvara wanted this to happen this way. Are? What about your accountability? How can you put, poor Ishvara, I'm telling you. What the patience of a saint. So you can't just say, I'm going to do whatever I want and then say, Ishvara made me do this. Ishvara has better things to do, okay, than to make you go on the road of adharma. Number one, I want to tell these people. Number two, if there is a mistake that has been made, it is best to say, you know what, I really messed up. Sorry. I'll try to make this up to you. I don't know what I was thinking. I had a problem here. I forgot. I fell asleep. Whatever it is you want to say. My mind was somewhere else. I was stressed. I thought I was doing my best, but clearly this wasn't good enough. How can I make it up to you? This is authenticity. But here you can't get some kind of a halo over the head. The aloof Vedantin walks in the world, not unconnected to anything. Asango ham, asango ham, asango ham, punah punah. This is putting off everybody. This is how to lose friends. There is one book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. Very famous book. If we were to write a book, how to lose friends and not influence people, this would be the way. This false ersatz, what is that? Dissociation. That is not what is intended here. This is not at all what is intended. You can't blame Ishvara for your mishaps. You cannot blame Ishvara, you cannot blame the neighbor, you cannot blame your reflexes. The hand did it, the leg did it, the hand is connected, right? The leg is connected to you. And so therefore, this is this kind of a vainglorious, it's called. This kind of a vanity, which is the misuse of the glory of the Atma, is not talked about here at all. One must not be vainglorious. In fact, the Tattvavit, the one who is the Tattvavit, will follow all the norms, will not refer to himself or herself in the third person. This one came, that one went, and Ishvara made me do it, will never hear. The Tattvavit will go into the temple and bow in front of Bhagavan. Why? For Loka Sangraha, to set an example. The Tattvavit need not bow. The Tattvavit knows this is, Bhagavan is everywhere, not just in the temple. And I am not separate from that Bhagavan, one knows. Still Tattvavit will go to the temple. Still Tattvavit will worship the elders. Still Tattvavit will model what it is like to be in the world of action and the results of action without this pesky means nuisance, this nonsensical ahankara getting in the way and having this veneer, I am a Vedantin. Therefore what? What should we do if you are a Vedantin? The one who says I am a Vedantin is many times Vedant out. Okay? Vedant in, Vedant out. That is how it is. And so one has to be careful here. One has to, nothing is lost in following the norms of the society because we do not create disturbance. We do not create disturbance. We do not just upend everything just because, one is a jnani. One does not upend all the norms and everything and wants to show off, I am a jnani. No. In fact, you go along with the plan. You do as others do, not because you are getting something out of it, but because that is the right thing to do. And you don't want to stick out like a sore thumb. And so, this caveat has to be understood properly. Prakriter guna sammudhaha sajjante guna karmasu tana kritsna vido mandan कृत्स्नविन्न विचालयेत् प्रकृतेः गुणसम्मूढाः. Those who are deluded between the Prakriti and the Gunas and the I, and where the Ahankara has joined the body mind sense complex and deludedly so, are called Prakritehe Gunasammudhaha. Gunasammudhaha with reference to Prakriti. They are confused that these actions are the modification of Prakriti. The I, which is the Satchidananda, does not do anything at all. They are terribly confused. And what happens? Sajjate gunakarmasu. They brand themselves as the authors of action. They brand themselves as the doers, the shakers and the movers of the earth and the world. They brand themselves in many ways. They say, without me the sun will not rise. Without me nothing will happen. I am giving this much. I am doing this much. I am writing all these books and I am doing all these things. This is how they talk. This is how they say. Tan, and Lord Krishna has a beautiful name for them. Mandaha. Manda means slightly dull. It's an Ayurvedic term actually. It's a Sanskrit term used in Ayurveda. Manda means something is up with the digestive system. Mandya is there, meaning the food is not digesting properly. Do a water fast or do something to stabilize it. So this is manda. When it is used for people, so something is just like the clogged stomach, the clogged buddhi is manda. Yeah. It's not a criticism of the person, but it's the criticism of the state in which the person is. Manda. Mandyam is the state, and that state is what is being criticized here, not the person. Tan mandan kritsnavit. Kritsnavit means the all-knower. All-knower? Who is the all-knower? Sarvagnaha. Tattvavit here is called kritsnavit. Kritsnam, everything. Kartsnyam, the everythingness. In fact, that has the most conjunct consonants. Try to write the word kartsnyam and so you will see. It will, hands down, that word will win the competition for how many conjunct consonants you can put together without a vowel intervening. So, Kritsna means everything. Kritsnavit, the one who knows everything, which is Ajnani. Kritsnavit, na vichalayet. May the Kritsnavit, may the Jnani vichalayet, not stir up the Akritsnavit, the one who is not a Jnani. Vichalayet, stir up. Stir up by saying, you are Akarta, how come you are doing? And I am not doing, see, because I am Akarta, so I am not doing. Follow me, follow my example. In fact, the Jnani will set the example of following Karma Yoga even though they don't need to follow Karma Yoga. They will still do that to set an example. They are not losing anything. They know what they know and they don't have to show it off. This is not, you can't put it on your resume. I have self-knowledge. Nobody will hire you after looking at it. Nobody will be interested. So this is not something to show off. This is not, you don't get a badge, I have self-knowledge, and you put the badge on or something like that. You don't get membership to an elite club, the Jnani club, no such thing. So it is something, it's a quiet affair. It is something for you to enjoy for yourself. There is nobody and nothing to show off. because nobody understands anyway. Even if you run down the Ganga road here and then say, I have self-knowledge, I have self-knowledge, they'll just take pictures of you, that's all. They will not, because you are a caricature. That's all it is. They're not going to be interested. Nobody will be interested. And so, therefore, it is something to be enjoyed for you quietly, without needing to share it. In fact, the very need to share this shows that there is some truti, there is something missing in this. There is no need to share it. And so, nothing is lost by doing what you are supposed to do. Everybody has a role in the society, and you also, as a jnani, follow the role. You don't have to have any kind of airs. And you do this as a favor so as to not disturb the world and the people in it. You don't disturb the order. So you just go about quietly, modestly, doing what you're supposed to do and not doing what one is not supposed to do, just out of the sheer compassion reigning in the heart, so that by my example, nobody should be disturbed. I should set an example that other people can follow. People say, oh, Jnani teaches by example. Jnani does not teach by example. Jnani teaches through words. Karma Yoga, yes, you can follow by example. And so that is what the crux of this verse is. Tan akritsna vidomantan kritsavin vichalaye. Then summing everything up, the last verse in this particular section says, Mani sarvani karmani Sanyasyadhyatmachetasa Nirashir nirmamo bhutva Yudhyasva vigatajvaraha. Yudhyasva. Come on, enough of questions, enough of answers, enough of samvada. Get up, fight, get ready to fight, he says. Everything has been answered, all questions have been asked, all teachings have been given. Come on, what is stopping you? Get ready to fight. Why? Because there are no more excuses left. There is nothing more to know. You know all this. And if you have any doubts, put your trust in me. Me means what? Ishvara. Put your trust in me. And follow the highest example of Karma Yoga. And by this trust and dedication, you will not come to any grief. And the karma that you are about to do, fighting this war, terrible as it is, will not bind you ever. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Those who did not get dakshina, because I didn't see them at lunch,